Happy Thanksgiving, guys. We've got your Thanksgiving episode here. We're going to get you ready for 3 Thursday games, a Black Friday game, and all the slate on Sunday. We're going to get into the injuries and the news as well. Let's do it. All right. Welcome to the show. This is the Frankly Fantasy Football Podcast. We are your hosts, Frankie and Johnny. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. How you doing, man? You getting ready for some turkey?
Ooh, I'm ready to slam on some turkey and all of the glorious sides that come with it. So yes, it is amazing time of the year. We got football for days. We got playoff push happening. And why not top it off with an incredible meal?
I'm here in Ohio. You can see I have a different background. I'm at my sister's in Cleveland. Fantastic. Spend some time with the kids. It's great.
Awesome.
Trying to record in a quiet space with 3 kids running around. Not super easy. Not super easy. My mom says to me, she goes, "Hey, Johnny, can we take it easy on the football this year? You know, we're very intense. Our family league is there. We get together afterwards, and football is a big part of our Thanksgiving. Believe me."
Big time.
Yeah, I said,
big time.
I said, no problem. We'll talk about politics. And she goes, okay, no, never mind. Talk about football. Talk about football. I said, okay, there you go.
Yeah, put the football on, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, I love it, guys. Guys, thank you for joining us so much. We want to start off with the thank you. We are so thankful for you guys, for the listeners and the watchers, the people on social media, even the assholes who love calling us out and love talking shit. We love you guys too, because that's part of fantasy football. Yeah. Frankie, what would you say you're thankful for?
Man, I am most thankful, coming into the season, like keeping it in the fantasy realm. I'm so thankful that I took a risk on CMC. I'm so thankful because so many people were like, I'm staying away from him, all of this other stuff. And you know what, man, in our big 14-team league, that is just incredible. It's a keeper league, big time payouts, etc. Took a risk, and man, my team is anchored on him. So I am thankful from a fantasy perspective for CMC and the way he's operating.
Yeah.
What about you, Johnny?
I'm thankful for 2 things. Okay. So I hope my son Jackson is watching this right now.
There you go.
He's the number 1 seed in our big family 14-team league. I mean, extremely difficult league. A lot of killers in this league, man. He's got the number 1 seed, and he and I are both fighting for that number 1 spot in our division, which pays out as well, by the way. And fighting for High Point Man as well. Woo. I'm thankful for Jonathan Taylor and Josh Allen combining for less than 10 points this past week.
Yeah.
I beat him on Monday night in the last drive. He had Rico Dowdle. I was freaking out. Rico Dowdle's catching a few passes in the last drive. I ended up beating him by 0.24 points. 2.5 yards I won by.
Stop it.
Oh. So I woke up in the morning and I wouldn't look before I went to sleep because I didn't want to be pissed off sleeping. So I waited till the next morning to look at it. Yeah, man. I pulled it off.
Awesome.
I'm thankful for that. Absolutely. The other thing I'm thankful for is rolling into the playoffs with Joey B. Joe Burrow coming back this week to have. That? Thank you, fantasy gods, for giving me the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack 2 weeks before getting into the playoffs. Oh, it's so sweet. Yeah, I'm thankful for that, my friend. Absolutely. Let's go. Let's go, baby. All right, let's get into it, Frankie. We're going to talk about this week's games. We're going to talk a little bit about news and notes and some injuries, which are very important to you guys this week. First, let's talk a little bit about last week. A couple of highlights of what we saw here, Frankie. Man, watching the games, and I swear to God, it wasn't even until it felt like the 4th quarter of the first set of games before anybody on anyone's fantasy teams actually scored. It was just the week of total randomness. Every touchdown was like, oh, sweet. Nobody's got him. Nobody's got him. I mean, Jesus, man. It had to be a good week in DFS, though. If you had some of those random guys who scored touchdowns, it had to help you out in DFS this week. So, yeah. Let's talk about a couple of amazing performances, though, here, man. Jamyrr Gibbs, just absolutely sensational, man. Talk a little bit about Gibby for us, man.
I mean, insane, right? In full PPR, guys, depending on how you're set up, he was probably around 62 points. In half PPR, he's probably around 55 points. And guys, what he did was nothing short of immaculate, right? 219 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He had 12 targets, 11 receptions, 45 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. Guys, he was RB1 on the week. Absolutely sensational week from that of Jamyrr Gibbs, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some of these guys are separating themselves completely, right? Just in time for us to start thinking about round one selections for next year's drafts,
Seriously.
How do you not consider Jamyrr Gibbs as the 101? I mean, how do you not? The other guy, Christian McCaffrey, man. I know everybody was scared. You said you're thankful for him. He's getting it done. He got it done again, man. Running back 2 on the week, 89 yards, a touchdown, 7 catches for 53 yards. Listen, these guys, and you could put Bijan in this conversation as well, I think. These are 3 of the most impressive running backs I've ever seen since maybe JT.
Incredible.
Yeah, because of what they can do. We saw JT, Jonathan Taylor. You can bottle him up. It's possible. He still had 50-some yards rushing, but you can focus on him and bottle him up. It's really difficult to stop CMC, Bijan, and Jamyrr Gibbs. They can kill you in so many ways. These are guys getting 14 targets and shit, man. I mean, you can't combat that.
And especially, like, you nailed it. JT is as incredible as what he is. I don't want to say he's a one-faceted, but the way he is playing in the Colts, the way the Colts want him to play, it limits his receiving ceiling. So that's exactly what we're talking about, man. Like, when you see Jamyrr Gibbs, 12 targets, 14 targets, Bijan having sometimes more receiving yards than he does rushing yards, and then you see CMC. By the way, CMC is leading the NFL in receptions, guys. That's not just running backs. We're talking across the board, 81 receptions. And fun fact, man, he would be the first player since he did it when he was with Carolina to have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. Just incredible.
Yeah, it's LaDainian Tomlinson type shit is what's going on right now, man. Yep. It's absolutely awesome. Okay, Wandale Robinson, another stud of the week here, man. Number 2 wide receiver on the week, Wandale
Robinson.
It felt like in those 1 o'clock games, the only player that was coming up all the time was Wandale Robinson.
No.
9 for 13, 156 yards and a touchdown. This is with Jameis Winston, okay, not with Jackson Dart. Jameis likely to start this week is what it's looking like as well. Are you rolling him out? Do you feel good? Is it like, I found something. I found Wandale.
Dude, 100%. Wandale Robinson, guys, it might be next to Michael Wilson, the best flex start you could do. I mean, no question. Jameis Winston is flinging the ball like what we've all seen. He's going to leave it out there. He might get picked, but he sure as hell is also going to throw a couple touchdowns as well. So absolutely, man, Wandale Robinson is certainly somebody that you need to be firing up on your team. But the other key call out here, and I would be remiss if we're looking back and didn't see this. Jameis Winston had more receiving fantasy points than a slew of true receiver ones, man. I mean, that catch and then the run after for the touchdown.
To talk about that.
What was that? I mean, dude, I'm laughing the entire time. I'm like, that is the most Jameis play I have ever seen. And it was fun. It was so fun.
It's just proof we're in a simulation, guys. We are, okay? It took me a second. I went, oh my God, is that Jameis Winston that just shook off that cornerback and just tiptoed into the end zone? I couldn't believe it. That was hilarious.
Amazing.
It was absolutely amazing, man. Speaking of amazing, there's 2 guys that are having potentially historic seasons here, Frankie. Matthew Stafford, he's playing at an MVP level. I mean, is he right? He's right there in the conversation, right?
Dude, he is. And guys, I know everybody talks about MVP. We talk about MVP, and we said it last week. This is a fluid thing. This is week to week, meaning these players are building that resume for MVP, and things change drastically. Injuries affected, certain boom bust games affected. What we're seeing from Matthew Stafford truly is incredible to the point to where the first time in his 17-year career, he's entering this next game as the favorite for MVP. Think about that. Out of all the great seasons that he's had, Super Bowl winning season, right? This is the first time. And this is what's insanity, dude. Stafford has thrown 27 straight passing touchdowns without an interception. This is the longest streak by any player since play-by-play data was first tracked in 1978. Wow. 1978?
Yeah.
What the hell, man? This is insane.
That's crazy.
Tip of the cap to Stafford.
Yeah. Just absolutely unbelievable, man. And this was coming into the season with a back injury, a serious back injury, man.
We talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we were nervous about
it, right? We faded him big time. And we faded him and we faded
Puka
the receivers
and
for
Devontae,
the same purpose. Yeah. And now they're just lighting it up, man. Wow. This is a dark horse team for the Super Bowl. I've said it many times, and I love it. All right, Frankie, another question here. Historic season, potentially here. Will Jackson Smith-Njigba break the NFL single-season receiving record, Frankie? Is that happening this year?
Oh, all I want to give you, man, is OH.
I-O, baby.
That's
Let's
right,
go.
Baby. Absolutely he's going to. And, to add another layer on top of this, fuck Michigan. Ohio State's playing Michigan. I know it has nothing to do with fantasy football, but I have to say it because it's the week of. But Jackson Smith-Njigba, absolutely, man. He just passed DK Metcalf's single-season record for the Seattle Seahawks. Guys, that was at week 12. We have 6 more weeks of this. And to think about what Jackson Smith-Njigba is doing and the record that he's potentially breaking, it's Calvin Johnson's, guys.
Megatron.
Right now, Megatron. In a Hall of Famer who really kind of left in his prime, towards the tail end of his prime. Guys, this is how good he is. And then you think about the length of time that he still has in the season is mind-blowing. Guys, he's on pace for almost 2,100 yards. That's insanity. So for me, man, I am all on board. I'm so excited to see this. Let's go, baby.
Real quick, take a look at that picture right behind you, Frank. We might have another record breaking this year. It's not fantasy relevant necessarily, but we got to bring it up. Talk about it, maybe.
Miles Garrett. Guys, and the reason that this has to be discussed is because this is something, not just because we're Browns fans, it's literally because this is potentially the most ridiculous thing we've seen from a defensive end. Guys, right now, Miles Garrett has 18 sacks with 6 games left. That's insanity.
What's the record?
The record is 22 and a half sacks. Miles Garrett right now is on pace for 28 sacks in one season. Guys, Miles Garrett has more sacks than multiple teams do. This dude, what he's doing is unbelievable. And so for me, we had to call it out. You got to give credit where credit's due, and he's a disruptor, especially in the fantasy world if you're playing against him. So kind of relevant, kind of not, but always shouting out a record-breaking performance.
The relevancy is watch your fantasy players playing against this guy, you know, and temper those expectations. Yeah, Browns fans enjoy these last couple of weeks, I think, with Miles in a Browns jersey. Do you agree, Frankie? I think they're going to move him in the offseason. I could see.
You see this?
Yeah.
It's time. Shador's starting again, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Shador Sanders is starting again. That is going to be some news. Not big news, but it's some news. Absolutely. Speaking of, let's get to the news, baby.
News and notes.
All right, man. A couple of guys here. Let's talk about this. We got some guys coming back to play this Thursday here. Isaiah Pacheco to play Thursday. Does this matter to you, Frankie?
You know what? It does. If you have Kareem Hunt. We have not been high on Kareem Hunt. I have not been high on Kareem Hunt since, really the last few weeks. And each week he's proved me wrong. Tip of the cap to you, Kareem. It's nothing personal. I just didn't believe in the running game. What I found is that Kareem Hunt actually broke through. But now with Isaiah Pacheco, guys, if you have Kareem Hunt, level set expectation. He's gone 3 weeks in a row with double-digit points, or 2 out of the last 3. So that's going to shift quite heavily now with Pacheco in the mix. Obviously, we saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire get involved, Brashard Smith as well. Now Pacheco comes back. It's pretty much going to be a him and that of Kareem Hunt. So level set expectation on Hunt. And honestly, guys, Pacheco, I wouldn't expect more than probably 50 yards, John. With splitting time and also, coming back from an injury. So, yeah, you're going to want to probably look elsewhere from Pacheco, but level set expectation on Kareem Hunt.
All the running backs for Kansas City, it's going to be tough. They've got 4 healthy running backs back there, and they're going to utilize them all somehow.
Yep.
I mean, that's Andy Reid. They're a smart NFL team. They don't have specific roles established for these guys, so you're not going to know what to predict here, guys. You're just not. So be careful with those Chiefs running backs. All right, let's go to the Bengals here, man. Playing Thursday night, Joe Burrow, full practice.
Wow.
Almost came back last week. They did take him off the IR, and he is looking at playing full practice this week. He's looking at going, man. So we've got the Burrow-Chase stack happening. Couple of things changing, though. T. Higgins, wide receiver for the Bengals, is going to be out with a concussion. Yeah. I mean, Jamar Chase, are we looking at 14, 15 targets out of him?
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night against the Ravens, a very vulnerable secondary right now.
Yes.
Yes. Yosivas. Very sneaky start as well, guys. Flex play if you have him. Absolutely. All right, Baker Mayfield. Let's talk about this for a second, Frankie. Baker Mayfield left the game with a sprain in his non-throwing shoulder. Watch practice. Teddy Bridgewater is the backup. I know Baker wants to get in. Yeah. It's his non-throwing. He's played with much worse.
Way worse.
The question, I think, is going to be, are the Bucs going to save him from himself? Because this is a high risk of re-injury with a shoulder sprain like that. So just watch that. Check out the practice on Friday. Maybe Fridays with Frankie. May have some Baker Mayfield news. All right, so get into that. Aaron Rodgers set to return this week against the Bills. That's great news for DK Metcalf. Josh Jacobs, limited practice, knee injury. He's been out for a few weeks. He's trying to play Thursday, but they play Thursday, guys. Doesn't look great. I would bet he sits, but keep an eye on that early Thursday morning and see if he's listed as inactive. Drake London, Frankie, this one hurts your soul. He's one of your champions. He's a guy I know you have on a few rosters. They may hold Drake London out the rest of the year, guys. You're going to have to watch this. I think best case scenario is weeks 15, 16, but it doesn't look good. They may hold him out the rest of the season, so make adjustments there, guys. Alvin Kamara left the game with a knee injury. He may miss a few weeks here, guys. Back up. Could be your waiver wire pick of the week. Devin Neal is the backup. He took the majority of the load. Could be week 16, 17 before Kamara gets back. You might miss him the entire playoffs as well here, guys. But Devin Neal, sneaky start if you need a replacement. I'll pick him up now, especially with the week 14 buys. You may need him next week. But this week, they've got the Miami Dolphins. If you need a running back, Devin Neal could help you out here, guys. Jaden Daniels, it's a long shot to play this week. I know this one's rough for you as well, Frankie. He's getting in some practice with his elbow, but it looks like Marcus Mariota will be starting this week. J.J. McCarthy, quarterback for the Vikings. He is going to miss week 13. He's in the concussion protocol. Max Brosmer. Oh, I love the random quarterback nobody's ever heard of starting in week 13. This is unfortunate, guys. I don't know anything about Max Brosmer. I just know that he's, third string, fourth string quarterback in the NFL. This is rough, guys. For your Vikings players, is there really that much value, Frank? It's going to kill JJ, right?
It's interesting, John, because Max Brosmer, he was a rookie, guys, came from Minnesota. He literally played at the University of Minnesota. He ended up having 2,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, a few picks. And so this is his hometown. And so what's fascinating, man, is that we think about it like, this could kill JJ and Addison. However, JJ McCarthy has played absolutely atrocious.
Terrible.
Like so bad to where out of the ranking of quarterbacks over the last 20 years, he is second to last next to Jamarcus Russell. So that's how bad J.J. McCarthy has been playing. So typically, John, yes, you would be right. However, we might actually see a Mike White situation occur with this new guy coming in to where it breathes some sort of difference of life. And again, I'm not saying that he's going to come out here and throw 300 yards. Totally not what I'm saying. But I'm saying he might just force feed the hell out of JJ and see what happens. So
you're right.
As much as, there's so much uncertainty, this actually could be interesting. Now, from a fantasy perspective for Max Brosner, guys, I'm not starting him. I would look elsewhere. There's too much risk involved at this point. But if you're a JJ owner, an Addison owner, you actually might be like, well, screw it, right? JJ's averaging 50 yards right now with McCarthy at the helm. So why not see what he can do? So for me, man, I'm actually cautiously and weirdly optimistic with this change.
I love it, man. I love it. Random signing of the week. The Bills signed Brandon Cooks. Cool.
Sweet.
Cool. Yep. Get out there and run some cardio.
Another Gabe Davis. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's an older, less talented Gabe Davis.
A shorter Gabe Davis.
Yeah, I love it. All right, couple players to watch this week, guys. Don't have status yet. It's a little too early in the week. Saquon Barkley's dealing with a groin. I think he's going to be fine, but just pay attention to that. Devonta Smith didn't get a lot of information on this, but he has a chest and a shoulder injury. You're just going to have to watch practice on Devonta Smith here,
Yeah.
guys. He's been blowing up too, so he's been great. Couple guys coming back here. Could be great news for your teams heading into the playoffs. I know it is for mine. Jaden Reed, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. I don't think we've seen him since week 2, Frank.
Yeah.
Coming off of IR with a broken collarbone, logging limited practices, looking to return real soon, guys. So it could be as soon as next week. So get ready for that. It's going to be fantastic. Amarian Hampton, running back for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Go.
Yeah. Off IR. They were waiting to pull him off. Could have maybe come off last week, but they wanted to make sure he was good. I think he may play this week, Frankie.
Dude, I agree, John.
Yeah.
And they were showing pictures of him at the practice facility. I mean, holy shit, he looks full go, ready to rock and roll. I am excited to see him.
Yeah, offense has struggled a little bit over the past few weeks here,
Yeah.
and they could really use a boost in their running game. So this could be very good for you heading into the playoffs, guys. Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Probably the biggest bust in the draft this year. Likely to play, ? He's recording limited practices, but he's been doing that over the last 2 weeks. That's why I'm not super confident about it. But maybe Frankie will give us a Fridays with Frankie and give us an update on BTJ here, guys, because goddamn, we need to get him in there so bad. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. And it's that time again, guys. Feast week is back on Underdog. From November 26th through November 30th, check the app daily for special promos. Playing Underdog, it's so easy, guys. Just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on any stat you want, like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, so much more. Frankie, it's Feast Week, baby. What do we have on Underdog that we're going to have people pick this week? What do you got?
Guys, we got 2 games we're looking at and 2 players we're locking in. The first is Derrick Henry, higher than 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns versus Cincinnati night game on Thanksgiving Day. Love it, and we're pairing that with Jake Ferguson, Turd Ferguson, higher than that of 34.5 receiving yards versus that of Kansas City.
Let's go, baby. Download the app today and sign up with the promo code FRANKLY to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FRANKLY. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And president of the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7-HOPE-LINE at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. All right, man, let's look ahead here at week 13. 2 weeks left until the fantasy playoffs. All right, we're going to start off here, guys. We talked about it last week. Get ahead of week 14. Start looking at week 14 with the buys. Start looking at week 15 if you're going to be in the playoffs. Look at your defenses. Look at your kickers. If you're streaming tight ends or quarterbacks, plan for that now, guys. But week 14 buys next week. Look at it. We got the Patriots, the Giants, the Panthers, and the 49ers. Guys, you're going to be without Drake May. You're going to be without CMC. You're going to be without your Panthers and your Giants. Okay, let's go. We got to plan ahead. Playoff push is here. Let's go. 2 weeks until playoffs this week and next week. Come on now. We got this. We got this. All right, let's look at the Turkey Day games here, Frankie. We got some great matchups on Thanksgiving. Awesome. I love it. Big time matchup here in the NFC North. Detroit versus Green Bay. Turkey Day in Detroit. You got to love it, man. All right, what are we doing with this game? What do you love here, man? I mean, we've got 2 quarterbacks here I think have underperformed as far as your fantasy team is concerned. But man, the potential's right there. You know, any given week they can bust out 3 touchdowns. Would you rather this week, Frankie? Let's do it. You ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Would you rather Jared Goff or Jordan Love this week, man, in this matchup?
You know, this is a great one because we actually got asked this on a few other posts of ours on social media, John. So this is great. I'm glad we're breaking this down. For me, it's actually pretty easy. And I know that the Green Bay Packers right now are 6th overall and from a fantasy defense perspective in most leagues. And then the Lions are a little bit worse. So typically you'd be like, and Goff has a little bit worse of a matchup. I'm going to lean that of Jordan Love. Guys, I'm actually going to start Goff over that of Love. And here's why. When you look at the weapons that Goff has around him, what we're seeing from Jamyrr Gibbs, 12 targets, you're telling me that I can dump it off to Jamyrr Gibbs 12 times and he's probably going to have 50 yards and a touchdown? That's great for Goff. And then you have Amon-Ra that looks great. Jameson Williams coming into his own. right? And so all of these other pieces around that just makes Goff have a higher propensity and even a higher floor to perform well than that of Jordan Love. Now, Jordan Love has shown us throughout this year that he is a very solid, viable quarterback. However, his floor is much lower. What we've seen over the last few weeks is his floor could be 10, 9, 11. That is detrimental to your fantasy team, especially in your playoff push. So guys, when thinking about the matchup, yes, it is a more difficult matchup for Goff than it is Love, but there's more weapons that Goff has available to him. So for me, let's lock in Goff, let's lock arms, and let's see the Lions go high flying this week for game 1 on Thanksgiving, baby.
I agree. The only way I think Jordan Love will outperform Goff is based on game script. If the Lions get out ahead early and then, Jordan Love has to throw the ball in the second half like crazy. I think that's the only way. I think you're right. The deciding factor for me is Jamyrr Gibbs.
Yeah.
If you're going to dump off to Jamyrr Gibbs 12 times like that,
that's crazy.
The Packers aren't going to have an answer for that. I mean, I don't think anybody can. So I think that's the main difference for me is that he can pick up a lot more with Jamyrr Gibbs and probably get a couple touchdowns in with that one as well. All right, let's go over to Dallas, the other classic Thanksgiving venue here. Dallas versus Kansas City, man. This is a must-win for both teams, dude.
Big time.
What are we looking at here, Frankie?
Guys, I mean, look at what Dallas did against Philly last week. They were losing 21-0 and come back to win the game. Dak Prescott, guys, is for real. He is playing lights out. You can't control how your defense is playing as an offensive guy, but what you can control is how you go out and perform each and every single play. And so what we're seeing is George Pickens is for real, man. Receiver 2 on the year right now. You have CeeDee Lamb, top 10 receiver. You have Turd Ferguson and Javonte Williams, who's still performing as a top 10 running back. Guys, this is primed for a big-time showdown, big high-flying showdown. And what I mean by this is we talked about Kansas City's side, man, to where there might be some issues with the running back. We're not really sure what's going to kind of happen with Pacheco coming back. It's going to take away from Hunt. It's going to take away from CEH, and they're both going to be taking away from Pacheco. But what I can tell you is what we saw last week with Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice. It is back, and it is alive, and it is healthy. And then you bring in Travis Kelce into the mix, and they were able to get Xavier Worthy on the deep ball a few times. What I'm saying is Dallas defense sucks. You know, it just is what it is. And so when you look at Patrick Mahomes, hell of a comeback against the Colts this past week. They need to keep that momentum rolling just the same as what a hell of a comeback it was for Dallas, guys. I am telling you, this might be the game of Thanksgiving, and it could be high-flying and a blast for fantasy.
Yeah, man. I mean, Vegas is looking at it. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5 currently, and it's a 52.5 over/under. I mean, when Vegas gives you almost a 53-point over/under, you start almost everybody on these teams, man. So let's go this way. The passing game, wide open. You're starting everybody in both passing games.
Totally.
The running games is where I'm concerned. I think the running game for the Chiefs will work well against this Cowboys defense. I just think there's too many guys to predict who the hell's getting the ball. Now we know who's going to get the ball for the Cowboys. It's Javonte Williams.
Totally.
You got to temper some expectations though, right? I mean, he's been 100%. Bottled up a bit over the past few weeks, and this Kansas City defense is the toughest to run on. It really is.
Guys, Kansas City's defense right now, they're a top 10 rush defense, and they're a top 10 red zone defense. What that spells chaos for Javonte Williams, because Javonte Williams has been kind of that goal line guy. I mean, just a guy in general that they're rushing. 20 rushes this past week, 80+ yards. That's phenomenal. But where he's really been maximizing his fantasy value has been getting into the end zone. And so when you're telling me that not only is this team a top 10 defense for red zone, but also a top 10 defense for rushing, what we could find is the game script may go against Javonte Williams as well, and it's going to have to go into Dak's hands throwing the ball all over the field. So yes, you may need to temper expectations for Javonte, but man, this is going to be fun to watch.
You're going to need a goal line carry for Javonte, which is very possible.
Very possible.
You have to understand.
I mean, it will happen.
Javonte could score 20 points, or he could get you single digits. I mean, I think that's really the outcomes of what's going to happen here. But the passing games, fire up everybody. This is going to be a really fun game to watch, man. All right, let's do Thursday night football here. We're all going to be tired and fat and drunk.
Sassy.
We're going to be laying on the couch ready to pass out here. Baltimore versus Cincinnati on Thursday Night Football. We got Lamar healthy. We got Joe Burrow healthy. Let's go. What a great game in the AFC North to have on Thursday night. I love it. Doesn't mean a whole lot for playoffs and for actual NFL, but for fantasy, this could be really, really cool, man. Ravens are favored right now by 7 points, 51.5 over-under, Frank. This is disrespect for these defenses, isn't it? And having these guys back. All right, what are we doing? Are we firing up everybody? Are we going crazy in this game?
Guys, we're going crazy in this game again. Just like what we were talking about with the passing game for the Dallas and Kansas City game, we're doing the same exact thing in this game as well. We're talking it's Zay Flowers, you're firing him up. You're looking at Mark Andrews. You're firing up Mark Andrews from a tight end perspective, guys. And then when you're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, man, absolutely. T. Higgins is down. Jamar Chase stepping up, and you know he's going to come back pissed off. He is suspended. This is a night game. He has a chip on his shoulder, and his guy is back with Joey B. Now, John, the one call out, there's two things I want to hit on. The first is level set expectation as well with Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be fine. But fine, what does that mean? I think it's probably around 15 to 19 points is what I really see. And it's because he's coming back from being gone for so long. So we may see some rust that needs to be kicked. I do think that it's going to be Jamar and him show, which will be fantastic. But I would make sure that if you're starting Burrow, which I don't think is a bad idea by any means, but I don't think a 30-point play is really in the realm of reality unless something crazy happens, right? I think it's going to be that 15 to 19, maybe eclipsing 20 just because of the rust. Now, the other thing, as I mentioned, with T. Higgins also being out, is that who is the other guys that are going to step up? We talked about Yosivas. I think that's awesome. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
But one dark horse, especially that you could look at in DFS, is Gesicki. Guys, Gesicki is back and healthy. And here's what's fascinating. We pulled some data from the last time from last year that Higgins missed his 5-game stretch. And so it was Gesicki stepping in with Jamar Chase and Yosivas. Here's what happened with Gesicki. He had almost a 60% participation route share. He had a 9.1 yard ADOT, which is fabulous for those that need to understand where that falls in good to great. It is very great. He had a 22.5% air share. He had an 18.3% target share. And he also had a 22.6% first read rate. Guys, so what does this mean from the yardage and the tangible asset or the tangible data that you could look at? He had 312 receiving yards in those 5 games. He had 2 receiving touchdowns, and he had 26 receptions, which equates to 5.2 receptions per game. This is a very, very sneaky start, and especially in your DFS lineups for Turkey Day. Pay attention to that. Very interesting.
We've seen this before, guys. Anytime one of the two of T. Higgins or Jamar Chase is out, all of a sudden Gesicki is completely relevant. Yep. That's just how it works, guys. Chase Brown, this should be a fantastic start for Chase Brown, especially with Burrow coming back after missing so much. You're going to think they're going to start establishing the run game pretty early just to take some pressure off of Burrow. Chase Brown, I think, is a smash play, as well as Derrick Henry.
This could be a mega game for Derrick Henry.
He's been so frustrating for owners all year long. I think last week he got the 2 touchdowns from Derrick Henry. This week, I wouldn't be surprised if he scores another 2 touchdowns against the Cincinnati defense, man.
Totally. And John, just a quick call out. Guys, for those of you holding Derrick Henry, it has been painful. It has been painful this year. He's sitting at running back 11 and half PPR. And so when you look at his schedule coming up, again, I want to hit on this. You have Cincinnati, then you have Pittsburgh, then you have Cincinnati again to start your playoff. And then you have New England and Green Bay. What I'm saying is that this is a guy that you can lean on in your playoff push. So yes, it has been very tough with Derrick Henry this year. You probably drafted him first or second round and he's running back 11. It's kind of annoying. Guys, for these next few weeks, watch out because again, over the last 3 weeks alone, or the last 2 weeks alone, he was running back 7 against Cleveland with a great rush defense, top 5. And then he was running back 4 last week against that of the Jets. Guys, when you see Cincinnati twice in the next 3 weeks, you should be salivating like I am. Let's go, big guy, big King Henry, baby.
That's right. That's good news for Lamar owners as well, guys.
Big time.
Yeah, Lamar owners, he could absolutely help you get into the playoffs here, guys. That's going to be great. All right, let's go to Black Friday, man. Black Friday game.
Woo!
Chicago Bears at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
This should be
awesome.
This should be a great game. It really, really should. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it. I still don't have that much more clarity about the Bears here, man. But Eagles are favored. It's at home in Philly. Eagles are favored by 7, 44.5 over under.
Interesting.
Vegas is not expecting fireworks here, man. I mean, these two good defenses for sure.
Yeah.
Where do you see the value coming from in fantasy in this matchup?
Guys, for me, when we look at Philadelphia, I want to look at A.J. Brown because there's been so much talk about A.J. Brown and so much bull crap about, he's frustrated, which he is. I'm not going to deny that. There's certainly frustrations over this year because the offensive coordinator change and all that stuff that's just not aligning properly. And it's been Jalen Hurts' show kind of. But look at what A.J. Brown did last week. He's coming off of a 10-target, 8-reception, 110-yard game. And with Devonta Smith banged up, with Saquon Barkley a little bit banged up, Jalen Hurts has got to get the ball to his guys. So for me, man, this is a check mark because of the fact that all of those injuries. Start A.J. Brown and get excited because, man, I mean, this is the opportunity that A.J. Brown has been waiting for, especially on primetime.
Assuming Saquon's healthy, what are we expecting Saquon against this Bears D?
Yeah. Big game. Guys, Bears right now, as much as they've been okay against the pass, they've been pretty rough against the rush. Right now, the Bears defense against the rush, they rank 25 out of 32 teams. And so again, if Saquon is healthy, yeah, baby, you're going to let him eat this up from the Phillies end.
All right, who's it going to be this week? Let's go to the Bears, man. I mean, we do this every goddamn week, and I don't have solid advice to give to somebody if they're asking me this question. Would you rather DJ Moore or Rome Odunze? Who's it going to be this week?
It's crazy. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with Odunze. And it's nothing tangible, and there's no reason why other than a gut feeling because it's every other week. It truly feels like it's every other week. This past week was DJ Moore's show. 7 targets, 5 receptions, 64 yards, and 2 tuds. Welcome back, brother. Yeah. But then Rome Odunze, 9 targets, 3 receptions, 59 yards, had a okay output from a full PPR standpoint, but half PPR, you were pissed off and miserable. This week, man, I see this switching. I could see that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to try to go and lock up that of DJ Moore after last week when he's going to try to build off it. I just have a gut feeling that it could be Odunze in a red zone that ends up getting the call. So for me, man, I'm leaning Odunze. But again, guys, this is something you flip a coin and you're just praying at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the week where you just start them both and you're fine. Because it is potential that the Eagles go out ahead. I mean, the Eagles are a very solid team. I know they're getting a lot of criticism and all this, but they're very good on all sides of the ball right now. So it is possible that, the Bears struggle on offense and are going to have to throw the ball quite a bit. So I think you're okay with Caleb and DJ Moore and Odunze this week. What about the running game? Now, it's kind of shifting for me to where this week I prefer the passing game, and I'm scared about the running game. Number one, game script could take these guys completely out of the game, and it's just DeAndre Swift catching passes out of the backfield. Or it could just be a slog for these guys. This is a very tough run defense here, man. What are you doing with Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift?
It's hard, man, because when you look at like what the breakout was last week, I mean, Kyle Monangai actually ended up out-snapping that of DeAndre Swift, 56% to 43%. And then when you look at the actual output that occurred from that of Monangai versus Swift, Monangai 12 rushes, 48 yards, a touchdown. I mean, shit, he's almost averaging 4 yards a carry. And then you look at DeAndre Swift, 8 rushes for 15 yards. That's no bueno. I mean, that's real bad.
Poop.
So to your point, man, you're in purgatory a little bit with this matchup this week. And also with you have one or other of these guys, if you have to, based on injuries, maybe you have Josh Jacobs and Monangai, and Josh Jacobs gets hurt and he's not able to play this week. Obviously, we know he's banged up, but let's say he's not able to play. Maybe you have to start him. But the reality is, man, if I had to choose one, I'm probably slightly leaning Monangai. And it's just because of the red zone, you're getting the ball on the goal line opportunity. I totally get what you're saying from a PPR standpoint with DeAndre Swift. He's going to be catching some balls out of the backfield. The issue is, though, from what I'm seeing is Caleb Williams is targeting Colston Loveland. He's targeting, I mean, we talk about the other two guys, DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. between the both of them, 16 targets, this past week. So for me, man, there's so many other mouths to feed at this point in time. It's not like it's Gibbs, for example, at the Detroit Lions, where there's still a ton of mouths to feed, but Gibbs is the focal point. It's not that with the Bears. Caleb Williams is the focal point, and he's distributing the ball equally. So for me, man, I'm actually not really high on Swift this week. And if I had to choose, I'm slightly leaning Monangai, but not a great start for either.
I agree. Just looking at DeAndre Swift's receiving over the past 5-6 weeks, I mean, 1 target last week, 1 target the week before. Now, when both tight ends were out, he had 8 targets. And
Sure.
I think you're exactly right. I think he's looking to the tight ends first on these dump-offs and these safety valves, not the running back. So, yeah, you're absolutely correct. You may be right with the Monangai over Swift because of that. So, all right. Sounds good, man. Let's go to a game here. The Houston Texans playing the Indianapolis Colts. This one's weird for fantasy. Now, the Texans are a weird team this year, man, because they're not giving you a lot of fantasy output, but they're destroying fantasy value of the teams that they're playing. Yeah, that defense is fucking legit, man.
Super legit.
It might be the best defense in the league, statistically speaking, anyway. All right, so we've got the Colts. Everybody really happy to see, the Colts back here. Everybody fired up, getting ready to go. Everybody healthy. But, man, we saw what a good defense did last week to JT. Shut him down. We saw what this Houston Texans defense did to Josh Allen. Quarterback number 1, Superman. I mean,
Superman.
What, 5 points out of Superman last week with this Texans defense? What are we thinking? Let's start with the Colts against this Texans defense. What are we doing here, man? We need all of these guys this week.
You need all these guys. But, guys, I'm going to break this down. You're starting JT. You're never going to sit JT. It is what it is. And just to add a little bit more sauce on that, the reason being is because look at what James Cook was able to do last week. The Colts are looking at that. James Cook was able to have a touchdown, 116 yards, and he had a couple breakaways. They're going to try to replicate how they were able to do that against this Houston defense because, to your point, this Houston defense is nasty, super nasty, really good. And then, so that's JT. You're starting him up. I love Tyler Warren as well this week. I think he's going to have a big-time opportunity to be the safety valve for Danny Dimes, okay? Now let's talk about the receivers and Danny Dimes as a whole. This is where I get nervous because when you look at Josh Allen, 8 sacks last week after coming off a 6-touchdown game the week before, and he had nobody to really stretch the field. Yeah, I know Michael Pittman, and yeah, Alec Pierce is there, but these cornerbacks and safeties are so good that this is going to add pressure to that of Danny Dimes. And then on top of it, you have Danielle Hunter and you have Will Anderson coming off the edge, which is almost impossible to block. And so for me, man, guys, I'm actually sitting Danny Dimes this week, no question about it. And look elsewhere. Go find another quarterback out there. Maybe you got to start Tua. Maybe you got to start some of these other guys. I mean, shit, I would even flip it. I might even start Davis Mills, as crazy as that sounds, over Danny Dimes this week because look at what happened with Josh Allen. Look at what happened with some of these other quarterbacks that have played against the Houston Texans. They are locking these dudes up. And if your league also subtracts points for sacks, I mean, guys, that's a big-time thing you need to consider walking into this Houston team. So, of course, you probably need to start maybe Michael Pittman. I understand that. I have to as well. It's not great. I'm going to be honest with you. You may be satisfied with 4 receptions and 50 yards, and you may walk away being like, okay, I kind of came away unscathed a little bit. But again, if you have to roll out some of these other cats and get a little bit deeper outside of Warren and JT, level set expectation. This is a nightmare matchup for the Colts.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you 100% there, man. If you can find other options than the Colts passing game, I would try to find them if you can, guys. Yeah. All right, let's go real quick here. Last one, Cardinals at Tampa Bay. Good game.
Good game.
It'll be a good game if Baker's playing. If not, it could be really interesting here, man. All right, Marv is not looking like he's going to be able to go. We'll get you updated here at the end of the week with the appendicitis and everything that he had. All right, so would you rather here with this game? Let's do another would you rather, Frank. Cardinals at Tampa Bay. Buccaneers, it's in Tampa Bay, favored by 3 points, 44.5 point over under here, Frank. Talk to me about it, man. Would you rather Michael Wilson for the Cardinals or Emeka Egbuka for Tampa Bay?
Okay.
I can't even believe this is a would you rather. But
That's what I was going to say. This is crazy, but let's break this down. Assuming Marv doesn't play. Okay, when we look at what Milson. That's pretty great.
Marvin Milson?
Marvin Milson? That's great. So look at what Wilson has done over the last 2 weeks. Just the last 2 weeks. Okay, 33 targets, 25 receptions, 303 yards receiving. I mean, in the last 2 weeks alone. Okay, that's ridiculous, guys. Yeah. I mean, that's averaging 150 plus yards a week. Then you look at what Emeka has done in the last 3 weeks. Okay, 30 targets, 14 receptions, 187 yards, 1 touchdown. Here's how I'm going to look at this. I'm actually going to start Michael Wilson over that of Emeka Egbuka. Emeka is on a little bit of a downspin. Baker Mayfield is banged up. Chris Godwin is coming back. They said they're going to ramp up his reps, especially this particular week after limiting him to 25 snaps out of 87 this past week. So guys, that's going to be a big bump. Then you have Cade Otton. And of course, as I mentioned, if Baker doesn't play, then you have Teddy Bridgewater throwing the ball. And that makes me a little uncomfortable, especially with the Cardinals defense, who actually isn't that bad. I mean, yeah, they've gotten gashed here and there, but it's not that bad versus look at what Jacoby Brissett has been doing since taking over. Look at how he's been distributing the ball. And then you have Trey Benson potentially coming back, which could open up the running game, which opens up the passing lanes even more. So for me, guys, again, this is really tough. And this is, you could say, hey, you're getting too cute. Why would you not just start Emeka based on what he's been doing? But guys, over the last few weeks, Emeka Egbuka is actually only averaging almost 8 points a game versus Michael Wilson without Marv. Guys, the coach just came out and said he's going to get his this week. They're expecting a big workload. So for me, I'm going Michael Wilson over Emeka Egbuka this week.
That's a bold take, man. I can't wait to look at that one and see how that shakes out. But I don't hate it. I might
be getting crushed on social media. I don't hate it.
I know. Come on. You know there's going to be everybody in Tampa Bay. Yeah. Go to Frankly Fantasy Football, Instagram, TikTok, and just brutalize Frankie. Please do this for me. Yeah. Make him cry on Thanksgiving, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
Mommy, why is Daddy crying on Thanksgiving?
Go put another turkey leg in your mouth, boy. Go sit down.
Shut up and go get some more mashed potatoes. Yeah. All right, speaking of Frankie, that is the show for the day. Let's finish. Let's talk about some side. It's Thanksgiving, okay?
It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving. So let's talk. What is your favorite side? Like, I get it. There's the turkey. That's a staple. But man, Thanksgiving's all about the sides. Thanksgiving's all about get your bread out of my face. That's just filler. No, I want the shit. What's your go-to? What is it?
Okay, you ready for this? Yeah. Everybody listening, this is gonna get kind of weird. My favorite side is giblet gravy with over top of homemade stuffing. So like it has to be giblet.
Stop.
All the giblets.
That's where I want to start. What the fuck is a giblet, Frankie?
You remember that? Like I'm gonna like, what was that? It was a Scary Movie when he's like, I'm gonna give my strong hands and
get you all the mashed potatoes.
Hand? Yeah, the little hand, my tiny hand. So giblets are when you're making the turkey, you reach in the cavity, right? And you pull out like the neck and some liver.
The cavity, you mean the asshole?
The asshole, the butt, the butt crack. Yeah. So when you go into the butt crack of the turkey, you pull out its neck and its giblet, like it's liver. And what you do, I'm serious.
Oh, it's the little nutsack of stuff. I don't know what. I'm like, what? Why is this a nutsack of organs? What's going on?
It's the little nutsack on it. And then you pull it out. And what you do is you put it in a pot, you steam it for an hour, and then you get it out and you cut it up real fine. You put it in a saute pan with a little bit of broth and some flour and you rock it out. I'm telling you, it's really good. But, you know, you got to stay. It's the giblets, man. What about you, Johnny boy? What's your favorite side?
Dude, mine is simple, okay? It's a combination of sides. And every single bite of everything on my plate will involve these two foods. I don't care if it's turkey or, whatever. It's the stuffing and the mashed potatoes. It's the stuffing and the mashed potatoes. Now, are you a dry stuffing guy or a wet stuffing guy?
Oh, that is a good question. I would lean dry stuffing because then I can make it wet with that giblet gravy.
No better way to end the show than Frankie making stuffing wet, okay? Maybe the title of the show today, Frankie makes stuffing wet, okay?
There you go. That's exactly what it is.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please enjoy your Thanksgiving. Also, follow us on social media, guys. As you're driving into your family's house or on the road traveling, join us on social media, Frankly Fantasy Football, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We have so much fun on social media. That's where all the fun happens here, guys. Yeah. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit that like button and notification bell on YouTube. It's going to tell you when these episodes come out each and every week. We're so thankful for all of you. And Frankie, I'm thankful to you, my brother.
Real thankful for you, man. Real thankful for you as well, Johnny Boy. Love you.
Let's go. Let's have a great week. And Frankie, I'll see you this weekend, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
May the fantasy gods smile upon you. Bye.